It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Washington Commanders and the Atlanta Falcons. All that and more coming up next.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the Atlanta Falcons. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And we are underway from Atlanta. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
And you know how scouts always talk about checking all the boxes? I think this young man does exactly that when you're looking for an NFL quarterback. Proven leader. Teams went 43-6 while he was in college. Has speed, dual threat ability, and production off the charts while he was in school, and also did a nice job of limiting turnovers. When you put it all together, there's a lot to be excited about for this young quarterback.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
A first carry for Tyler Algier. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. And complete to Drake London. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. But they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He's got Smith here. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. This is taken at the 15. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a product of NC State. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Spent the early years of his career bouncing between starter and backup as needed, and played well, but never had a team fully commit to him as their guy. He does retain the toolbox that made him projectable as a starter. Big, strong player with a powerful arm, deceptively mobile, and tough to tackle. The best part about his game, leadership and being a great teammate.
A man from just south of here in McDonough, it's Antonio Gibson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Michael Walker there to bring him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Once more, Gibson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Brissett. He's going to air one out. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson, 73 yards. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And you'd think on 3rd down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks, and I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result, because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Yeah, and the next-gen stats showing that at an even 57 yards through the air. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was Jahan Dotson with a touchdown catch to finish things off. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And this one complete to Smith. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Ritter's throw complete. This is London.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Back to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Roughing the passer, defense.
So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And the official won't even think twice about pulling his flag on that one.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 2nd, here's Algier. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 24-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Ridder and the Falcons need an answer and a big play here on 3rd and long following the sack. Looking to throw. Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, 28 yards. And the Falcons are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. Seven, our score after 1. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Now Brissett. Eluding the pressure right.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. Brissett now. And that is incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. Oh, there's a nice move by Robinson. And one more time.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42.
And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Desmond Ridder and the Atlanta offense set to go once more.
Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
Nifty move. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line.
18 yards the gain for number 18.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
On first and 10, it's Robinson. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 13-yard line.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. On first and 10, it's Algier.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
Montez Sweat with a tackle.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
This will be caught at about the 6. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Now he's forced out left to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
They'll drop to throw.
This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Falcons' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it was the tight end Kyle Pitts finishing it all off on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Brissett to throw on first. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Brissett.
He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Again, it's Brissett.
And yet again, it's McLaurin. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. Brissett. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Brissett again.
Looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
8 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from drawing level.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now Joey Sly for the point after.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was capped off by the Logan Thomas touchdown catch.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field.
And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Second and 2. His throw incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Complete. Smith has it.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's
17-yard line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal. Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they take a 17-14 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take, punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll get the yardage on the run and get 15 more for good measure.
Yeah, that wasn't too difficult to spot. You heard the sideline erupting, and the flags came out almost immediately.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So that would have been something from that.
Well, time is of the essence. We breeze through halftime, and we are ready for the second half. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Second half starts with a run by Gibson.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Gibson again.
And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, it's hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Brissett on 3rd and 2.
And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Brissett. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing, Brissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready.
At their own 12-yard line.
Gives it to Algier to start things off.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here's Algier again on 2nd down.
And some room to roam now. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big pickup of 38.
Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Ritter and London team up there. 1st down, Atlanta.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second and 9 now.
Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Younghoe Koo gets set for the Atlanta field goal.
He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Gibson here running out of the gun.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. He really hasn't been able to get on track running the football and averaging less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think that they're going to enjoy the film session because all the defenders are filling their proper gaps on just about every play. And you know what they always say for a defensive coach? When I click off this film, I better see 11 jerseys in the picture going after the ball carrier.
On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett.
This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin.
And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 44-yard line. Back now in Atlanta. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They'll go again with Gibson.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now Brissett.
Open man is the tight end, John Bates.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
Holding offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Brissett now.
Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Brissett.
Going right back to Dotson.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Now Brissett on 4th down. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin.
Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin, an 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. Sly on for the extra point.
And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready.
At their own 21. They hand off to their big tight end. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little